Hello, I'm Catherine Lazorko.
And I'm Maurice Jones, the town manager for the town of Chapel Hill.
And we're joining you from Chapel Hill Town Hall, where we had a council meeting on February 13th that we want to give you a little bit more detail about. Of course, there was a lot talked about over 4 hours.
Sure.
We're going to highlight just a few of them. The council did talk more about affordable housing opportunities.
They did.
And of course, a couple of development items
Sure,
as well.
sure.
So maybe we'll start with the affordable housing.
Sure. There were several issues that the council talked about with affordable housing. One was the certification of the bond referendum that occurred last November, where 72% of voters in Chapel Hill approved a $10 million bond. They had to officially, kind of a procedural issue, to certify that. So they were able to do that. Staff is now working on the process by which we would determine what projects would be funded out of that, and then we'll move forward from there. But that was an important step in that process from a procedural standpoint. And then the council approved a couple of funding requests out of the Affordable Housing Fund. The Affordable Housing Advisory Board reviewed these applications, one for the Community Home Trust and the other for Chandler Woods, to provide assistance with increasing affordable housing units in our community, and the council approved both of those proposals.
The top priority for the council is affordable housing.
Absolutely.
And that $10 million bond referendum should go a long way.
It certainly will.
Okay. Well, development review projects. We had one on Homestead Road.
We did. And this is a continuation of a discussion that council's had over a few months with a project that is now called Independent Senior Living on Homestead. And it's a multifamily project, 198 units, sitting on a redeveloped project, or what will be a redeveloped piece of land there. And the question that council had going into this was whether or not to rezone the property and then pass the SUP that was before them. A couple of days before the council meeting, the developers came into agreement with the neighbors who had some concerns over this on the piece of property, where they had agreed to lower the height of the project from 4 stories to 3 stories. But by doing so, it also expanded the footprint. And so there was some concern on the part of the staff and the council that we needed to re-examine this based on the new configuration. Very pleased that there was a discussion between the developer and the neighbors and that there was agreement on it, but we felt that we needed to take another look at it, this new version. So ultimately what happened was that council and the developer agreed to have them submit an application for this SUP, this revised SUP, to come back to the staff to evaluate and determine next steps with that. And so the hope is that over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, we'll get the application back from the developer to review by the staff and decide on next steps. And so kind of a complicated process, but it seems like everyone's trying to work to address the concerns that were raised by the neighbors, but also make sure that we've got a good project in the end.
Very good. Another development project was off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and the site of a current manufactured home development.
Absolutely, and this is a new project. It was a concept plan discussion that the council had with the developer there. The developer has been working very closely with our staff and then also with the neighbors there, because I think there's a lot of concern about what happens to folks who are in these manufactured homes along that stretch there. The good news is that the developer has proposed generally to accommodate everybody on site. So there's enough acreage there that they can move folks from one area to another without displacing anyone. And then at the same time, they are proposing to redevelop the front part of the property to incorporate a gas station and then a self-storage facility as well. And so once again, this is just a concept plan. All they did on that night was to hear back from the council, to get comments on that. And then they will work with those comments, work with staff and the neighbors to develop an official application that they would submit to the town to begin that regulatory process.
Very good. Well, I think that was 4 hours in less than 4 minutes. So
right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So the quick wrap up, if you want to learn more about what Mr. Jones has just shared, please come to our website, give us a call, email, reach out. We love to take your comments and questions. And we join you for the next council meeting, which will be February 20th here in Council Chamber. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.